The hangar at OC Fair and Event Center here in Costa Mesa is now home to Fight Club OC, but it wasn't always that way. Local businessman and fight promoter Roy Engelbrecht decided that the OC was missing good boxing entertainment. And so just under 30 years ago, the Irvine Marriott Hotel opened its doors and Battle in the Ballroom was born. Tonight, we're gonna give you special access. We're gonna mic up Roy and follow him around to see what it's like, really, on fight night. We're also gonna meet his son, Drew, who plans to take Fight Club OC into the future.
10 seconds to go in each round, the timer will go. That's a 10-second warning. That's when you have to have a music queued up for the ring card girls. When the fight is over, you want to come up with music right away. We don't want any dead time at all.
In the center of the hangar is a ring, and Roy Engelbrecht is the ring master.
People are at the door already. Look at that. Christina?
For a little under 30 years, Roy has been the beating heart of Fight Club OC, the longest running club boxing match in Orange County.
Take advantage of this. This is unbelievable seats. So one suite gets 2 and the other one gets 2.
Okay.
And you can change each time on that.
All right, cool.
On that. I didn't want you to miss that out.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Enjoy. People were here early tonight, so they were excited about the show. When there's a line out there 10 minutes before we open, we know we're in good shape tonight. It's a promoter's dream when you're selling standing room only. We're good? We're everything? Yeah. I tell my staff, you know what? We're not a restaurant. If we have a bad night, we have 363 more days to make it up.
Okay.
We do 15 shows. So that's why I'm a little demanding, if you will, that it needs to be perfect because we can't come back the next day and make up for it. We've lost that. My son Drew's office right here.
Okay.
You
gave him a window, Roy.
He has the window and the bigger office. In lieu of getting a big salary, he gets a big office, which I like, and I get the little office. But nice.
Okay.
And this is my office. No windows. Have a lot of stuff, but some great memories.
Roy has been in the promotions business for decades. A physical education major in college, he started his marketing tenure with the Los Angeles Lakers and Kings in the 70s and 80s. He was there when the Showtime Lakers showed Los Angeles just how entertaining a sports franchise could be. Wow.
This is 40 years old.
Look at that.
This is the first year of the Laker girls. That was Magic's rookie year. And these ladies are grandmothers already. Mm-hmm. It's amazing to think that the original girls are grandmothers.
I have to ask you, what got you into boxing? Why boxing?
I've always been a boxing fan, way back when it was Don Dumphy's Gillette Cavalcade of Sports Friday Night Fights. And when I left the Lakers and the Kings in the Forum, there were only 7 licensed boxing promoters in the state of California. And 5 of those 7 had a shaky reputation. And they said, wait a minute. There's not much competition. So I got into it at that time, and here we are 33 years later, still in the business. This is our show wall. If you've never been to one of our shows, what we've done here is pretty much given you a sample of everything that happens at a Fight Club OC show.
Okay.
From the look of our venue. We have the same thing in the Staples Center. We have a big video board, they have a big video board. They have suites, we have suites. Dimitri Bivol, who's the middleweight champion of the world, WBA, made his USA debut right here in Costa Mesa at Fight Club OC. We have a lot of former fighters who come to our
watch
show
fight?
to watch. They have a friend that's fighting or they saw him at the gym. So Shane is there. We've had, I think, about 38 current or former world champions who have fought for me because the fighters have to start someplace.
Sure.
You don't go, unless you're an Olympian, you go from the Olympics to get signed and become a big-time star right away. So Shane was looking for fights. I think Shane fought for me three times. Johnny Tapia, one of the great young fighters, fought his first 7 fights. And to give them their first paycheck, that they're now a pro athlete, here's your $1,000 check, your $1,200 check, and it makes you feel good. It's like anything that you're helping. You didn't train him, but you're helping to get his pro career started. So that's pretty neat.
Speaking of pros that got their start through Roy, in 2001, Oscar de la Hoya was looking to get into fight promoting and saw an opportunity for his then Golden Boy Enterprises to purchase Engelbrecht Promotions.
Met Oscar for the first time. We're sitting at the table to sign everything, and I turned to Oscar and I said, Oscar, trust me, I know this business. With your name, if we form Golden Boy in 5 years, you're going to be the biggest promotions entity in the world. So I signed to be the COO, Chief Operating Officer, for a 3-year contract. And after 3 years, I said, Oscar, I'm tired of driving and taking the Metrolink unless you move to Orange County. The thing with a big-time promoter, like Golden Boy, they have Canelo Alvarez. If Canelo would trip on the curb and break his femur that he can't walk straight again, you're almost out of business.
Wow.
For me, if a fight falls out, I'll just put another local kid on there and we'll make our money. I tell folks I can make $15,000 30 times. It's very tough to make $450,000 one time. A lot of people get in this business thinking they're going to hit a home run, and they don't even hit a single.
To keep that kind of batting average, Rory relies on a team that has been with him in some cases as long as 15 years. They are as close to him as family, but only one gets to call him Dad. So Dad comes to you and says, I want you involved. What was your first response?
It was back actually when Affliction was going after the UFC.
Got
I was
it.
selling as a sales rep for Oakley. So he hit me up. I was, I think, 4 years at Oakley, and he said, hey, I just got hit up by Affliction. They want to go after the UFC, put on some shows. It's only me. I need some help. Are you done selling over there? And at that time, I was kind of done doing the same thing day in and day out, sitting behind a desk. I'd worked with my father coming out of college, and I knew it was kind of tough.
Yeah.
So when he called, I was like, you know what? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Shoot, here I am 10 years later, and we're still running. I mean, I got him, shook him, and got him out of the ballroom, and here we are at a better, bigger, badder venue, and we're just taking this thing, every show, we're taking it to the next level.
Every year in December, when we think about the next year at Fight Club OC, we want to say, what is something new we're going to do that our fans just don't walk in and see the same old setup? A good example was in 2008, when our first year with MMA, I wrote my season ticket holders, hey folks, we're coming back for another year, and guess what? We're going to do MMA. I bet you I had 6 secretaries call me and say, Roy, what does MMA mean?
They had no
and
idea.
some of my boxing season ticket holders saying, Roy, come on, what are you doing? Sold out the place, and I've done hybrid shows ever since.
Roy was the first amateur MMA. It was one of those things that I could get behind because it was MMA. It was my ADD generation of quick fights. Like, let's see guys get knocked out. So I was like, I can get behind that.
At our shows, we can do anything we want, and we do.
What is this big pizza box? Is this one of the pizza giveaways?
We give away we give away 2 of those Gina's Pizza every show. Here, Newport Ribs. This is another. You get a rib dinner. We give away money. Here's a guy I think that's a $50 bill that he won. Your dad has always been so instrumental in giving people lots of things. He said you had a fight where there was a magic show that happened.
I woke up, we had a fight at the Garden Walk, which was our first show. We were on schedule to deliver them 7 fights. I woke up, my matchmaker had 4 fights. I remember walking after the weigh-ins that Garden Walk to see what stores are here that I could possibly utilize if things go wrong. There was a magic store with an actual theater. It's one of those things that actually Roy said, I want to have a magician in between things at Fight Club. And I'm like, no. When I woke up that day, I was like, Roy's getting his magician today.
Never before has a magician performed inside the cage.
Never been done in the history of mixed martial arts. The UFC's never done it, Bellator's never done it. We're going to have a magic act in the cage.
Straight from the mental institution, we got a straight jackets just for you folks. We're doing all the stops. Wow, there's a lot of blood here.
You know, the fans were like, hey, what is this? But different. We played it as the first time you're ever going to see this, and hey, it worked. So,
and it worked.
Yeah.
It's entertainment at our level, at the club level, when these are fighters who have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 4 fights. They're not Manny Pacquiao fighting. They're not Canelo Alvarez fighting. There you're paying $5,000. Don't give me a magician. I want to see a fight.
Right, I want to see a fight.
But at a club level, I'm paying $60. I want to be entertained. It works. At our level, it's entertainment first and sport second.
Coming up on Beyond the Sport.
I think the most I've split up before was like a little over, it was like 205 or something like that.
We now return to Beyond the Sport.
Let's get this show going here. All right, 2 minutes, people, 2 minutes. Get your red and blue corners lined up in about a minute. Hi, Brett.
The venue has a lot to do with the fans' experience. Why the OC hangar?
Well, that's a good question. 25 years the Irvine Marriott, the ballroom, valet parking, a nice
Sure.
lobby. There was something. And my son, who has been with me, said, Dad, you know, it's still a ballroom. It's still 16-foot ceiling. Drew came and looked at it and said, are you kidding me? We need to leave. 50-foot ceiling, the video board. I took a chance, and the greatest move we ever made because it elevated, it improved our show drastically. I'm a big Killers fan, so we always have a couple of Killer videos right here.
That's a movie theater screen.
Right,
So
exactly.
with instant replay hitting on that thing, you hear a knockout.
like,
and it's
wow.
just, ooh. We're trying to add every element that we possibly can. I mean, season seats, we have about almost 200 accounts for 500 of these seats.
Wow,
So when
that's
I
crazy.
get a 6-bout fight card, I only have to sell 40 to 50 per fighter, and I'm sold out.
You can fill the place and have a lot of energy as opposed to doing
All
a show
those
at the
empty
Honda
seats,
Center, and you
sure.
have 5,000 paid customers, but you have 15,000 empty seats, and it's just, why am I here? All right, everybody, like we've done it for 10 years. Standby house lights coming up. Light ring lights up. Can you give more power up there? Yeah, we're on. I don't want a first round knockout, please. Give me a round here, please, please. Give me the bell. Give me a bell here. Give me a bell here. Give me a bell here. Are you sure you had the right time?
Yes. Has he got
You were
time
up
now?
there. Shoot. Well, it was a good 5-minute fight. So what? I mean, that is what it is. On that. You know, if we have a short night tonight, we'll really have to deliver in December. What'd you fight?
Being a promoter is tough. I mean, you literally have to take chances and risks. And watching my father growing up in having shows that hit and then having shows that didn't hit,
Sure.
it was kind of tough, yeah, for me to be like, that's what I want to do, just because I knew the stress that was involved.
If we could have just gone 10 more.
I know. 10%, we got another round.
Yeah, and that would have been, could have been a great fight.
Lots of years doing this, lots of challenges along the way. Where does it all end? Does it end with Drew? Is he going to take the reins, or where do you see yourself now?
I'm sure I've told him for the last 5 years, Drew, this is my last year. He didn't believe me anymore on that because it's too much fun.
Sure.
But when you birth something, it's very hard to give it up because you know everything, right? What does my son know? I birthed this. And it took me a while to realize that he's a pretty smart guy. So I've given him more and more responsibility, which has been very, very tough to give up a lot of that. And he has stepped up and done a wonderful job.
Fernando, make sure that money bucket is down there ringside, because this is going to be a money fight for sure. We so needed this.
This is going to be a money
I
fight
know.
for sure.
We needed this.
Is he actually giving more responsibility to you, or is he still running around here taking over everything?
Leading up to the shows, yes.
Okay.
He has delegated me more responsibilities. He's allowed me into his lane a little bit.
Okay.
At the same time, he's still at the top of the pyramid.
Of
you
course.
know.
When will they stop collecting tickets?
Oh, we'll another half an hour. But get your pail because this is going to be a money.
There's one ringside, right? You already have one?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It looked like there was paper and like stuff going into the ring. What was going on?
It was actually dollar bills.
Dollar bills.
We have this tradition at our fights where if the season seat holders or any of the fight fans for that matter see a great fight and the guys go to war, they pretty much respect them by throwing dollar bills. I've counted up to $350 before. You know, sometimes I've seen $50 bills wadded up. It's usually 20s, 5s.
That would have to make a fighter want to come.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's just fun to have that element to, show them that much, added love.
think the most I've split up before is like a little over it was like 205 or something like that. So each like player or fighter got about $100.
I've done 350 shows, but I get home and I say, Nancy, and she'll finish my sentence. This was the greatest show we've ever done. Yes, that's right, honey. That's exactly what happened tonight. And, you know, you take pride in your work, but I really need to step back and let Drew really expand and spend more time with Nancy in the 20 years that we have left on this earth.
Coming up on Beyond the Sport.
Oh, it's awesome. To hang out with kids and help influence them and kind of inspire them to be the best they can be is great.